Bobbity bobbity boo. Good morning. Let's do this here. That way I can hear good morning, everybody. And if you're watching this as a rerun, you can skip ahead about 17 minutes. As we're just getting ready for the stations here so they can get going, get the audio levels set, and make sure that we're all hooked up here. Good to have you along here today. On a chilly morning here in the studio. Morning, Waylon. Your wife says that you got to come visit. And she's also modeling next year. She said that. I guarantee. Let's see here. What was I going to look at? Oh, what the temperature is here right now. Whew. It is 6 above, feeling like 11 below zero. Okay. French benefits. Was supposed to say, I don't know what the hell. Anyway, Kim says that she's modeling next year. So she also included you into the boxers part of it too. So why you... Stephanie wants to know why you... Stephanie who? Concert thing a while back. You need to be a little bit more... I don't know who Stephanie is. Yep, Cash wants to hunt out there next year. I doubt the modeling part. Yeah, the YouTube title. I figured I must have messed something up in there. That's all right. Sometimes my computer, I accidentally have it on auto or something. Anyway. Okay. Call up old Jaker Wagoner here. Stephanie. I don't know who you're talking about, Todd. But yeah, Waylon, she said she signed you up for the boxers part of it too. American Bank Center. I don't know. I guess I'm not familiar with who you're talking about, Todd. I am not sure at all. Probably because it was there. That's probably why. Dave, good morning. Let's see here. I got to find the WAG. The Wagner. There it is. All right. Son of a bitch, is it cold in this studio this morning? Holy shit.
Hello.
Morning, Mr. Wagner. We're live on YouTube.
Morning. I forgot about you, to be honest.
No, you didn't. Jesse said you talked to him yesterday and you said we were going on.
Yeah, but between then and now, I forgot.
That's all right. There it is.
Yes, sir.
Well, winter hit with a vengeance down here, huh?
Yeah, wow. that it did.
There we go. Well, let's see here. Morning, Scott Bulgy. Morning. Did you get any snow down in South Dakota or what? Jesus. Morning from Tampa Bay. Jamie, good morning. Morning, Wayne Muth. Yeah, it's supposed to say fundraiser benefits. I don't know what my typing skills are. I got a text message concerning me that I printed. Was the woman in all the print and video? I don't remember that. I'm getting this text that I saw somebody at a concert a while back here, Jake, and I'm supposed to remember this person, and I cannot remember who the heck it is. Concert. I don't know the last concert I was at. Honestly, the last actual concert I think I've ever been to was AC/DC in Fargo, like in the 90s. So I don't know what. I'm not sure. You got me thinking. Give me a last name there, Mr. Mitchell, and now look her up on social media and see what you're talking about. Maybe it'll come back to me. I have no idea, man. This getting older stuff is so much fun.
Yeah, isn't it a treat?
Jesse Flath. Last concert he was at was Three Dog Night.
Jesse ain't old enough to go to one.
Oh, no. Okay. So yeah, we were okay. Take it back. If we're talking county fair concerts, that would have been. I went to Three Dog Night. I went to Holly Dunn, Chris Ledoux. They were all in Bowman. Those would have been the last ones I ever went to. Yeah. Okay. If you don't remember, maybe it was Motley Crue or Ozzy. I never went to those guys. The only big concert, like actual big one, in like it was AC/DC. Now it's all coming back to me now. The last concert was Ned Ledoux in Buffalo Gap up there and by Ole Goldberg. Or yeah. There we go. All right. Now we got it. All right. Let's see what the hell's going on here. What else? Fucking snow, buddy.
Just a little bit.
We got about 14 inches up here.
That's probably about what we got.
Not ready for it. Not ready.
Yeah. Considering it was pretty near 80 last weekend.
Yeah. That's stations. I forgot to do our countdown. I'll do a 70030 countdown. 70030. I'll get that here going here in shortly. 70030 on mark. Take my ivermectin for the morning here. I was asked to be the godfather to my new niece that was born here a few months ago. So that's what I'm going later on today, heading up to Bismarck to do the family thing. And then Sunday morning, we'll go to church and get her baptized and come home. And I start weaning with my first group of cattle. So yeah, that'll be just dandy. Nothing like getting on a horse when it's 11 below with the wind chill there, Jake.
Yeah, I'll probably be back to 60 by then.
By Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, you think?
Yeah.
Let's see what the old weather says. Sunday, 26 degrees. Monday night, overnight low of 2 below zero.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's way too cold. Did I find the Dead Soldier whiskey? No, I did not. Nobody up here carries this. Can't find it. Well, what else is going on in the world of Baker?
You know, you're asking the wrong person.
Really?
I'm kind of a mushroom, so.
All right. Yeah, I didn't see you during the Harvest Fest.
I believe we were moose hunting.
Yeah, I thought for sure you'd be cooking up some ribs for the rib cook-off.
Yeah, it definitely was moose hunting that weekend.
Yeah.
So. Nope, they tried to get me to do it, but I refrained for personal reasons.
Personal reasons of moose hunting?
No, that was fun reasons.
Personal reasons of the hell with cooking ribs or what? There's
I clashed with a few people that were in charge.
I see.
So they asked me to have the food truck there for lunch too, and I said no because I'm going to be gone.
Oh. Yeah, well, I had the warmest PBR because evidently there's a hams famine in Baker, Montana. And the only other beer you guys carry is PBR. So the lady at the Baker Club put it on ice or in a cup with ice and salt and started rolling the bottle around to try to cool it down quicker. Because evidently I'm the only one that asked for hams. And when there's no hams, I asked for Grain Belt. There was no Grain Belt. I asked for Rainier. There was no Rainier. So last resort was PBR. Yeah. So I got that going on. So I had a warm PBR before the auction.
You need to move a little farther east. You'd fit in a lot better drinking that kind of stuff.
Further east?
Yeah. Like Minnesota, they drink stuff like that over there.
No, they don't. You know what they drink in Minnesota? Dave from Minnesota is listening. He all they drink over there is that black leaf mud sewage micro brew stuff over there. That's what they have. But yeah, some of the ribs were not good. Not good.
I can believe that.
Too sweet. Todd Mitchell says, you're right. That's Minnesota shit. Come on, man. Come on, Todd.
My wife's from Minnesota, and we've been to the bars there many times, and everybody's drinking that nasty Grain Belt.
Well, okay, Grain Belt. I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. Morning, Eric. Waylon Turner says Grain Belt is good, and he's no East River guy. Well, nope, he's still on the west side of the river. It's close. All right, stations, we got 45 seconds, 40 seconds.
You'd probably like Great Falls if you like hams.
I like hams. Ham's kind of a staple of Slope County up here right now.
Because they give it away.
Well, at least it's not anybody with Man Boy doing promotion for it, so.
Not yet.
Well, if it does, I'll switch here. Stand by, Jake. We're going quiet here. Stations, 10 seconds. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. Nearly 2 decades long and still going strong here all across the Dakota Territory. KGFX out of Pierce, South Dakota, KOLY, Mobridge, K-Fire, 550 Bismarck, Mandan, KCJB up in Minot, and also KLTC on the Western Edge. Good to have you along there, and everybody watching on the YouTube channel around the world, good to have you along here. Make sure to tell your friends to hit that subscribe button. That's all I need right there. Jake Wagner from Hangin' W Meats out of Baker, Montana. Good morning. How you doing, sir?
Well, not too bad. And yourself?
You know, I could do without. So for the listeners out there, I know there's a lot of different snow totals. Here at the ranch, right around 14 inches is what we ended up with on average. And a little bit too much snow. See, I haven't weaned my calves yet, Jake. So I got to do that in the deep snow. And I'm not looking forward to that a whole lot in this rough country. So,
right.
Yeah. So that's this. Oh, we already got questions about summer sausage from Baker here. So we'll get to that. Okay. They remember you. So Hangin' W Meats in Baker, Montana. You also have a food truck. You're also a professional fisherman, or I'm sorry, I'll be politically correct, angler. You just got back from a moose hunt. Was that your wife that got the moose, or was it you?
No, she got it.
Okay, so take us through. Where'd you go moose hunting at?
We were actually in Region 6. The tag was good for the whole of Region 6 of Montana. So that's basically from Sydney, Montana to the Canadian line, and then from the North Dakota line to west of Havre, Montana. It's a huge area.
Wow, that's a big area.
Yeah.
So how did it go? I mean, did you get on them right away, or was it a long time here? Did you have to set up camp somewhere?
It was a we went up for 2 different weekends on some hot tips that were not right. And so we never even seen. I put on thousands of miles and never seen a moose, and then we ended up going farther west, and we were up there, and we got a bunch more false leads from some of the local ranchers, and then finally talked to somebody in the know, and they told us where to go, and by that next morning we went in there and we had a moose dead within half an hour.
Nice. So what is a good score for a moose out of Montana?
Score, I don't, when they score them, I don't know. I know that if you, if you get a bull that's 40 inches or better in Montana, you've done well.
Okay.
And this was her second moose. She'd already killed a bull, and this tag was neither sex tag, and she ended up popping a cow. But the cow was actually she was a Canadian. She wasn't a Shiras. She was a Canadian. She was huge.
Big body. I like that. Yeah. Well, that's cool. So how many pounds of meat can you get off of a moose?
Off of this particular one, we got over 600.
600 off a cow moose. Holy cow.
She was pushing 1,400 live. She was huge.
Just a giant. That's awesome. That's awesome. So how much is a moose tag in Montana? You're a resident, though. What's a resident moose tag cost?
$125, I believe.
Yeah. Wonder what the non-resident. I know, like, getting over 1,000 for a non-resident elk already.
I think they're 1,200.
1,200
for non-resident. Yes. But North Dakota gives out 4 times the amount of moose tags Montana does.
Well, they do, but it seems like. Can you believe this, Jake? We have a cow moose just a mile north of the ranch right now.
Yeah, there's moose all around Baker right now. I mean,
right?
I can put you on moose within minutes.
That's crazy. I mean,
according to the state, supposedly what I've heard is they're going to start issuing tags down here.
Well, I don't live far from you, so maybe they're spreading around. I mean, they got to follow the river, right? I mean, you got cropland, you got good cover, you got we have pines all over. We got near forest out here, and
right.
Yeah, so it's good stuff. So the big 3, for North Dakota residents is bighorn sheep, moose, and elk. And those are once in a lifetime tags. No non-residents cannot apply for any of that stuff. Right. And but yeah, cross my fingers, man. One of these days, I helped a couple of weeks ago. A gentleman here, a local guy. He was 73 or 74 years old. He said he's been putting in for a tag for an elk tag for 43 years, and he finally got drawn. And where he got his elk, let me tell you. So I
drove right up to it, didn't you?
Oh no! Wait. So I was working. I'm putting a pipeline in, a water line in on one of my leases, and so I get this call. It's like, can you go help? I'm like, I'm in the middle of this pipelining project. So I made a couple calls, and nobody was around. And then he called me. He's like, Scott, I need help. I was like, all right. So we shut down. So what we did is we got as many tow ropes, chains, and even roping ropes and lassos and everything together. And we got down there and we pulled it out 6 feet at a time with the bale bed of a pickup. The arms of the bale bed, we lifted it up. I held it down on the bottom of the draw. They reset the chains up on top, and we pulled it up 6 feet at a time. And it was pretty cool. It was a good one. So it's kind of nice to see people doing that. But now I just seen Facebook this morning. Some people are saying over by right on the interstate, New Salem, just outside of Bismarck area, they're seeing cow elk in that country too. I mean, it seems like elk and moose have been spreading out throughout North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, even more over the last 10 years than it ever has been. I wonder what the deal is there. Are they being planted? What do you think?
I know our bears were planted that we have here because we watched them do it, and then they tried to deny that they did it after we watched them do it.
Yeah, same thing. Mountain lions in my area. Yeah.
So I mean, they just killed a bear a few weeks ago down in Ekalaka that was 7'6".
Wow. Yeah.
And that's a big bear.
That is. Yeah. Do you think it's all about funding some of these groups? the World Wildlife Fund are supplying a lot of money to certain places, making sure that they get the certain predators in, you know?
Well, I think the reason that you're seeing like the moose, especially like in our area, I've actually done quite a bit of research on moose, but I think they're planting them because the wolves are eating them up west.
Yeah.
And moose live in a 3-mile radius from where they're born.
Really? Okay.
So in order for moose to get, cover, a huge amount of distance is quite rare.
Means they're getting so somehow or planted.
And they do, as they get older, they'll get a brain disease and it causes them to wander. And so, like years ago, I can remember when I was a kid, there'd be a bull moose would go through and then you'd never hear about him again. And I don't know if he was hanging off the end of a tractor but they say at the end of their life, they get a brain disease and they just start going.
Kind of like me.
So I don't know. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. That's what scares me. You start seeing more of this big game in this country. And I know we already have wolves, but I don't want more of them, and that's one thing. Right. Instead, they're like, well, for population control, if you're worried about too many of this or this or this, we can always bring we don't want wolves in this country. You want to tell you that? Well,
they've already got proof that there's a grizzly in Mosby.
Yeah, I heard that.
So, that's not very far away.
No, we don't need that. Well, we're up against our first break here, Jake. We'll talk about more coming up as the big wild game feed is coming up in Baker, Montana. More guns than any benefit fundraiser you'll ever find in your entire life, I guarantee. And that's probably across the entire nation. I don't think anybody does what they do. We'll be back right after these messages. Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next auction. Wednesday, November 1st, 320 acres in Pembina County, 388 acres in Polk County, Minnesota, and 326 acres in Stutsman County. On November 6th, there's 160 acres in McHenry County, 494 acres in Belle Fourche, South Dakota. And on Tuesday, November 2nd, 1,720 acres in Dickey and Sargent counties. For more information and to bid online, go to Pfeifers.com.
As an independent insurance agency, Dakota Community Insurance partners with leading insurance companies to offer products that are designed around you and your farm insurance needs. As a leader in farm and ranch insurance, we can help you to minimize the risk to you and your operation, including farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. Stop into your local branch to visit with our insurance agent or visit DakotaCommunityBank.com. You can rely on us when nature strikes. Dakota Community Insurance.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
East Greets West, an annual fundraiser for the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, scheduled for October 20th at the Valley City, North Dakota Eagles Club. This fun event begins with a social at 5, followed by a delicious dinner, and a very lively auction takes place following the night's keynote speaker, Jeff Gould, telling America's story. Uplifting, touching, and profound, it's a presentation that inspires listeners to consider the sacrifice and blessing of our nation's history. Tickets for this event available at northdakotakowboy.org. East Greets West, October 20th at the Valley City Eagles Club.
Western Frontier Insurance, agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, You can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger.
Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next auction. Wednesday, November 1st, 320 acres in Pembina County, 388 acres in Polk County, Minnesota, and 326 acres in Stutzman County. On November 6th, there's 160 acres in McHenry County, 494 acres in Belle Fourche, South Dakota. And on Tuesday, November 2nd, 1,720 acres in Dickey and Sargent counties. For more information and to bid online, go to Pfeifers.com.
Are you looking for a home loan? Dakota Community Bank and Trust makes it easy and convenient to find the best loan program and most current rates available. Whether you are shopping for a home for the first time or thinking about new construction or refinancing, we offer the assistance of an experienced mortgage officer, together with a convenient online or in-person application process. Let us walk alongside you to find that exact loan to meet your specific needs. Find your local home loan officer at dakotacommunitybank.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition, live and local across the Dakota Territory. Good to have you along here this morning. If you would like to call in and join and have any questions, comments, concerns, the phone lines are always open. 888-932-5682. That's 888-9-DAKOTA. And Jake Wagner from Hangin' W Meats is my guest here today. We're going to be talking about the wild game feed for Fallon County, Montana. But a couple of questions here first, Jake, if you're grizzly. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Proof of a grizzly. Where did you say?
Mosby,
which is outside of Circle area, Montana, Montana.
Yeah, west of Circle, over west of between Circle and Winnett kind of country. It's south of Fort Peck.
Yeah. So grizzlies, we got mountain lions, we got wolves. Do you do any wolf hunting? Because I know it's Montana, you guys can do that.
I've bought tags before. One of those things that's kind of like anything else. You know, once you buy a tag, you don't see one, and when you don't have a tag, you see them all over the place. I've been within 50 yards of them, but couldn't kill them.
Yeah. I tell you, I think right now you're going to start seeing more and more of them spreading around. And, and of course, you're going to get the greenies that aren't going to want anybody to hunt them. And then they're like, well, where did all the elk and moose go? Well, gee. I had a buddy that had he had bucking stock over in, I think it was the Great Falls area. And he used to also do a lot of elk hunting on his property. Thousands of elk would come down in winter on his farm and ranch. And he says there is nothing left anymore because of what happened. So they'll decimate the population in a hurry. And then when those are gone, what do they eat, Jake? Going back to beef, aren't they?
Yeah. And the reason we don't have our deer numbers are down so bad here is because of lions.
You got a lot of cats over there, do you?
Oh, boy.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Boy. Well, hey, let's talk about the wild game feed coming up your way. Okay. Fallon County wild game feed, Baker, Montana. Now, you've been on my show a few years now talking about this. We're going to have this November 11th, which is the opening of North Dakota's weekend of deer season.
Yep.
And I'll tell you this right now. It's a good time, and it's a lot of guns. How many guns are you going to have this year?
Right now, I believe I'm sitting on 120, with a possibility. I think I might have 15 more coming. So, 120 for sure.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Where do you find? Are they all brand new?
No,
Okay.
they're not.
And if they're used,
Not all of them.
what kind of used ones are you finding? Are these collector items?
If they're a used one, there's usually some kind of history there. They're either a vintage war gun, or they're antiques, or they're obsolete or hard to get. That's usually our used stuff. I mean, I don't go buy a used 243 and put
Right.
it out there.
Right.
So, and then all our new stuff, which is, it's getting harder and harder to get on the new stuff, but for the high end guns anyway. But we have new too. The thing of it is it's getting harder to find the new higher end guns, and preferably in wood. So that's why I'm going with the antique and the obsolete and things of that nature, things you can't find anywhere else.
Now, some of these are donated out of personal collections, which is awesome. And give us a few ideas here. Jesse just said featherweight model 70s. He wants all of them.
Well, I happen to have one in a model 70 pre-64. That's a super grade, so that's only worth about $5 or $6
only 5 or 6 grand here. So give us a list of some of the other ones at the top of your head that kind of pop out that you may have found this last year.
We have a lot. I mean, for coming to this event, if you've been to it before, this one's going to be the holy grail. I have some guns. I have guns that I have at least a dozen of them that are worth over $5
Nice. Like what?
all the way up to $10. I have the big gun is it's a Colt. It's actually a San Francisco. The gun was made for the San Francisco Police Department in 1898. They made 460 of these, and this one is number 260. And the police department never issued them out into the field, so they sat in storage.
Really?
And they auctioned them off in the 70s and 80s. So these guns were never shot, so their barrels are still good. And they're in 4440s, and they're just a gem. I mean, and we've got the Providence from Colt on the gun, and yeah, it's $10,000 gun, hands down, if not more.
Where are you going to have this gun located? And were you auctioning this one off, or were you going to be?
This gun's actually on our big raffle.
Okay.
The pre-sale $100 tickets. It's first place. You can take the gun or $5,000 in cash. We know that's the first year we've done that, but it's going on the big ticket. And if whoever wins it don't want it, I'll buy it. I mean, I'll buy it.
Buy it back, yeah. Oh,
I have another one. I have a Buntline. I don't know if you're familiar with the Buntline or not, but they're a pistol. It's in a 45. They were a fictional. There was a gun that Ned Buntline, who was an author, made his dime novels. They weren't a real gun at the time when he was making his novels, but then Colt decided, well, we're going to make one. And so I have a first edition Buntline revolver and a 45.
nice.
And that gun's the only other ones I can find. They're worth about $4,000 to $5,000.
That's crazy. Where do you find this stuff? Where do you find these, Jake?
Well, you know where I find them. Because you call me up on the, there's a lot of auctions I go to.
Yeah.
Online auctions, auctions in person, gun shows. Yeah. This year we have almost every Winchester Model 70 pre-64. We have
Nice.
almost every one of them.
That's awesome.
And those, I mean, they're not cheap anymore. They're $2,000 plus guns, and if they're super grade, they're double that in value. And some of them are even worth, 7, 8, 9, 10,000.
That's crazy. Yeah. And just to let people know, this fundraiser, where does the money go? Last year, you gave a couple wrestling groups in the area money.
Yep.
What are you planning this year?
Well, we have the same two wrestling groups back.
Oh,
We
they
have
are?
the Baker.
Good.
Yeah, they have the opportunity to come for 2 years. So this year we have the Baker AAU, we have the Bowman AAU, we have the Webo Civic Club, and we have the American Lutheran Church, and we have the Sons of the American Legion.
And one of the benefit fundraisers that I support here is because all this money goes locally. And when I say local, like within a 3-state area here, because that's what we consider local. But that's what's nice about it. You actually see the money staying in around the communities. That's awesome.
Yep.
So, well, November 11th, and how much does it cost to get in?
Nothing.
Free will offering for the meal too.
Right.
Yeah. So, gun.
And then we have, we have things. I mean, you can, if you come to the event, you can win a gun for nothing. I'll have everybody stand up. We'll play a game, whatever. I do this year. The newest thing we have is we have dollar tables, and I have on the one table are 2 antique single shot Savages. Cost you $1 to play. By chance as many as you want. And then the other dollar table is a brand new, never been shot Mini 14.
Nice. Haven't seen one of them since like the 90s. That's great. That's awesome.
And it's in wood on top of that.
Yeah. Oh,
it's not a synthetic, it's a wood.
Oh, the Mini 14. You got to love them. I'll tell you what, that it's just a great time. It's a lot of fun, and it's a family event too. And we'll talk more about that on the second half of the program, what you do for the kids there and some of the games that you play. I mean, if you want to get practiced up, make sure you practice heads or tails.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that takes a lot of exercise, but it takes a while. And maybe you got to work out a little bit so you can put your hands up above your head a little bit longer. But we'll come back more with Jake Wagner from Hang and W Meats, plus the Fallon County Wild Game Feed, one of the largest guns, the amount of guns you'll find in any fundraiser coming up, guaranteed. We'll have more coming up in the second half hour after this. Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next auction. Wednesday, November 1st, 320 acres in Pembina County, 388 acres in Polk County, Minnesota, and 326 acres in Stutsman County. On November 6th, there's 160 acres in McHenry County, 494 acres in Belle Fourche, South Dakota. And on Tuesday, November 2nd, 1,720 acres in Dickey and Sargent counties. For more information and to bid online, go to Pfeiffer's.com.
As an independent insurance agency, Dakota Community Insurance partners with leading insurance companies to offer products that are designed around you and your farm insurance needs. As a leader in farm and ranch insurance, we can help you to minimize the risk to you and your operation, including farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. Stop into your local branch to visit with our insurance agent or visit DakotaCommunityBank.com. You can rely on us when nature strikes. Dakota Community Insurance.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
East Greets West, an annual fundraiser for the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame, scheduled for October 20th at the Valley City, North Dakota Eagles Club. This fun event begins with a social at 5, followed by a delicious dinner, and a very lively auction takes place following the night's keynote speaker, Jeff Gould, telling America's story. Uplifting, touching, and profound, it's a presentation that inspires listeners to consider the sacrifice and blessing of our nation's history. Tickets for this event available at northdakotakowboy.org. East Greets West, October 20th at the Valley City Eagles Club.
Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or talking animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered with price in mind. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, Wilton, Bowman, and Hettinger.
Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty would like to invite you to their next auction. Wednesday, November 1st, 320 acres in Pembina County, 388 acres in Polk County, Minnesota, and 326 acres in Stutzman County. On November 6th, there's 160 acres in McHenry County, 494 acres in Belle Fourche, South Dakota. And on Tuesday, November 2nd, 1,720 acres in Dickey and Sargent counties. For more information and to bid online, go to Pfeifers.com.
Are you looking for a home loan? Dakota Community Bank and Trust makes it easy and convenient to find the best loan program and most current rates available. Whether you are shopping for a home for the first time or thinking about new construction or refinancing, we offer the assistance of an experienced mortgage officer, together with a convenient online or in-person application process. Let us walk alongside you to find that exact loan to meet your specific needs. Find your local home loan officer at dakotacommunitybank.com.
Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition. Good to have you across the Dakota territory. Well, I'll tell you this. Jake Wagner from Hang and W Meats. We've been talking about the Fallon County Wild Game Feed coming up November 11th. Jake, we'll get more on the guns, but first, Jesse wants to make sure we talk about the food. It's a wild game, and he says that we can have everything from moose to deer to mountain lion and even chupacabra is served at this thing, and it is. And you do a lot of the processing yourself and a lot of the cooking too.
Yep. Well, that we do. This year I don't have any lion this year. It's the first year in quite a few I don't have any lion, but I got some coming for next year, I guess. We don't have a huge variety this year, but we got a variety of food, of course. But we got deer and antelope and elk and moose and black bear, and I think that's it. I don't have any bighorn sheep, and I don't have any
Prairie dog.
No prairie dog, no mountain lion. I'm actually working on a hunt that me and some friends are gonna go on. And so we should come back with some wild hogs and then some exotics. I'm actually looking at shooting. It's called a zebo. It's basically it's a wild cow from India.
Awesome. So, where are you doing that at?
We're actually the main goal of the trip is Alligator Gar, but we're going to down by Victoria, Texas, is where we're planning on going.
Yeah. So the mayor. And you met Mr. Gene Cox here. He says summer sausage from Baker was top notch. I'll get more next Labor Day now that I know where the meat shop is. He says, but if you don't have any lion now, you still have a few weeks to go.
Yeah, I do. But what we do is I actually take the hind legs of the lions and I cure them like you would a ham. And then we actually make baked beans out of it.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. And I don't have enough time to get that done.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a good feed. And if people think, wow, this wild game, I mean, it is so good. Because there's some people they have in their mind growing up, they never had good tasting wild game because it was too gamey, right?
That's
Right.
not how it is anymore.
Right.
It's good stuff.
You get somebody who knows how to cook it, and
Right.
yeah.
Right. Question comes in: do you have any beef? Well, you will if you get the wild cow. Right?
Yeah. Oh, buffalo. We have buffalo.
Well, there you go.
So
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And the moose actually, and especially this moose, because I've already ate it, some of it, you would never know that it's not a beef. You'd have no idea.
What is it? Maybe Iberian ham out of a mountain lion for next year. Look at these guys. So that's what he is. So you and Gene, did you guys have like a secret meat cutter's handshake?
No.
Butcher
No.
handshake? There was no. Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. So wild game feed, a lot of guns.
Yep.
And here's the thing about what I enjoy about fundraisers that have guns. It seems to me they raise the most money. Right. I mean, you look at the news today, over the last few years, anti-gun here, anti-gun, anti-can, too many rounds. Or as Biden says that, you can get one of those guns that has 100 round capacity chamber. I don't know if you heard that one. I'd like to find out where that gun is. But anyway, it seems that guns still make money, even with all the, I don't say good press out there that they have, but it's still a good fundraiser, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
The hard part is finding the right stuff, because we have high end tables, and then for high end tables you need high end guns, and that's getting to be the toughie. And then of course the price of everything is going up, as everybody knows, on everything, and guns are no different.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can drop $20,000 in a blink of an eye. As you well know, you've watched me drop more than that in a blink of an eye.
And I have no problem selling you firearms as an auctioneer.
I kind of make the sale when I walk in the door. So.
Here's the thing: is when you start bidding on a rifle or a shot, whatever it is, if you're bidding on a firearm, I guarantee that you're going to take it home.
Well, I don't know about that. That's quit on some of them.
But for the most part, you're going, unless you get Bruce from Williston sitting in front of you, then you're not going to take it home.
Right.
He's taking it.
But
home.
I can run him to the moon on it.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you should invite him down for this year again. He's a lot of fun.
So I went to an auction sale in Sydney one time, and I sat in the front row, just like I did at the one you were at.
Yeah.
And I was I was on a budget. I can only spend so much money, and I was waiting. They had a bunch of vintage Winchester 73s and 76s. And that's what I went to the sale for, was to buy some of these. And so they finally come up, and I bought some guns that come across the block, as the sale went on. And there's this old man sitting next to me, probably 90 years old. Sat there the whole time, never raised his hand, never did nothing. And then vintage lever actions come up. And me and this old man butted heads on every single one. And we get to the last one of them, and there was like 10 of them. And we get to the last one, and it's a high grade. I mean, it's an 86 high grade. It's worth a lot of money. And it's in pretty good shape. And so I'm like, all right, I'm getting a little sick of this. And so I took this guy to $15,000 on this gun. And he never blinked an eye. And I finally quit. And I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And, and then I find out afterwards from the people at the sale that are coming over shaking my hand for making their sale, so much. And they said, yeah, any auction where there's vintage Winchesters, he buys them no matter what.
Oh, okay. Man, can you imagine when he has an auction sale?
Oh. Ridiculous. But
or his family or his kids have an auction sale or something. Who knows, right? But man.
Yeah.
Be good stuff. Well, let's talk about some of the kids stuff you do, because it's pretty impressive. It's a very big family event. And I mean, don't plan on just coming for an hour, because you're not going to get hardly anything done in an hour, because it's spread out so nicely in the building at the the fairgrounds building. But I'll tell you this, kids, if you come, it's almost a guarantee you're walking away with some type of prize, right? I mean, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. We have tables for little kids, which are 0 to 11. We have, and the kids are going to win something off of that guaranteed. It costs them $5 to play it. And they're going to win something guaranteed. and then it's a progression game, so they have to go through stages, and you get to the final stage and you win, you get a big prize. And it's a choice. It could be, there's TVs, there's game consoles, there's BB guns, there's some actual 22s on there as well. There's kids ATVs, four-wheelers and
Wow.
dirt bikes and things like that. And then the older kids, the 12 to 17-year-olds, they play a two-stage game, and they have to get the right egg out of the bucket to advance to the big prizes. And once they advance to the big prizes, and then of course that's the game consoles and TVs and guns, obviously. And so they can walk away with a brand new firearm. And the reason we do kids is there's kids out there, and I'm sure you know some, that their parents don't hunt, or nobody in their family hunts. They don't have any guns. They want to hunt, and this is kind of an opportunity for them to get their own deer hunting gun or antelope or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there's people there at this event, and there's people like me that around here people know, and I'm sure you in your area, if a kid wants to go hunting, I'll take them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they don't have a firearm, I have kids firearms, because my kids were growing up, I bought them, youth rifles, and I still have them. So, that's the thing. This whole thing is based around hunting, because it's such a part of our culture in this part of the world. And that's why the main reason we do this, and that's why we have wild game for the food. That's why we, all the guns, we're not doing personal defense. They're 95% for hunting.
Yeah. Yep.
So, that's what we are.
Exactly. And in a community where you have more hunters and they respect not only the game animals and their firearms, you don't have those problems that you have to worry about personal defense.
Right.
Yeah.
Because everybody has 20 or 30 guns sitting in their house.
Yeah.
And then, I would guess that over 50% are loaded.
Yeah. Well, I got some in the back. I got one right here by my feet. I know it's loaded here.
I got 4 in my pickup I know that are loaded. All I got to do is throw the bolt down. But
Yep. Wayne calls or messages says, have you ever auctioned off any or raffled any hunts at your game feed?
Actually, yes, we have a hunt table. I've done hunts all over the world. I've done red stags in New Zealand, for example. We have them all over the place. Last year was buffalo and elk.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was local elk hunt too, which is nice.
Right,
yeah.
Right. They were local. Yep. And this year, we're still working on them. I have buffalo for sure. I have 2 buffalo hunts, and then I'm working on an elk hunt in Idaho, and I'm working on a fallow buck hunt in Lisbon. And so, and then we always have other things. We have a trip to the NFR. We're working on that as well. Hopefully we'll have that there. And then we do some others, not such big things, but still trips, Deadwood, Chico Hot Springs, things like that.
Yeah.
So, but yes, we have a hunt table, and that, like next year, like I said, if we go down to Texas on these 2 places to hunt and fish, and if that pans out, I'll have those on the table next year.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, you call this the big daddy of all the fundraisers here because you're having so many guns. Now this Wayne, he's going to be the night before is the Medora Hunters feed.
Right.
He's going to be there. I'm trying to talk him into coming down to Baker with his kids. Because here's the thing. Every time he comes to Medora, him and his boys, they win almost half the guns there.
Well, you do that here, you done something.
Yeah. You win half the guns in Baker, you got like 60 guns. So hopefully he'll come down for that. And I could even use him as a ringman down there. He would have a lot of fun.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and go home with half the guns on the hat table and half the guns on the flask table, and life will be good.
Life would be good. Yeah, and that's a guaranteed. So the flask auction and the ball cap or hat auction, it is guaranteed you're winning one.
Yep,
guaranteed. So there's some good ones in that too. So if you could pick one that you have this year, what would be the top one? It would be that unused police from San
Yeah,
Francisco,
that Colt would be hard to turn down, but there's some other ones out there. I mean, there's some Weatherby's that are pretty good. You know, there's a couple of those. There's one of the pre-64 Model 70s. You know, the 300 H&H. I don't think it's ever been shot.
Wow.
I have a couple other of those that have never been shot as well, that are real, almost mint. Another one that's in there, and this would probably tweak Jesse a little bit. It's a Ruger number 1 and a 204.
204. Yeah, there you go.
And it's got a scope on it that's probably worth as much as the gun. And I mean, that's a beautiful setup.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful gun.
Oh.
And there's some other ones here in there too. I mean, there's a lot.
I forget this all the time. There's separate ladies tables too.
Right. Yep. We have a ladies table, and there's some neat stuff on there. One of the prizes for guns on there would be, I guess, self-defense. Whoever wins that particular one, they'll win 2 guns, and they're both Derringers.
Oh, nice.
One's a 357 and one's a 22.
That's cool.
So, and they're identical. I mean, they're the exact same Derringer, but just different caliber.
Yeah. Now, women can play the women's tables and all the other tables. And the fun part about the kids too, like last year. So, Sadie, she tells her dad, I want money because I want that gun right there.
Yeah.
And she ended up winning the damn gun.
A $3,000 gun.
$3,000 gun for a 6-year-old girl.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Still floors me.
But I got to take her around and with me and say, okay, Sadie, which one do you feel lucky on tonight?
Yeah. Let's see if we can do this again.
Yeah. Let's see if we can double up. Gene says, any old military rifles? So he has a reason to come over to Baker on November 11th.
I have 2. I have kind of cool, actually. I have 8mm Mauser, and it's a 100% certified. So that means every piece on that Mauser matches, which is very hard to find. I believe it's Czechoslovakian. It should be a World War II gun. The other one I have is a Winchester Enfield, made in 1917. They only made them for 2 years for World War I. Guaranteed war gun, and that is chambered in the 30-06.
You've seen a lot of those old military chambered in 30-06. Why was it? Just because it was a cheap round at that time to make?
Well, that was the round at the time. Before the 30-06, it was the 30-40 Craig. Mm-hmm. And then the 303 was also in there, which is a British round. But we kind of use those as well, and then you got 30 carbine, and it was always 30 caliber because that's just what they used up until the Vietnam era when they switched down to the 223 or 5.56, whichever one you want to call it. But
right.
There was guns that were used in the war that people don't realize. Like there was 25-35s that are war guns. In fact, I know where there's one at, and a lever action.
Is it going to be in Baker November 11th?
Yeah, he's too tight. He won't let go with it.
He won't. Okay.
I had it bought in my hand, and then I was at it. I had him look up the serial number because I still wanted to see when it was made. And then we looked up the serial number, and then things got screwy, and he couldn't find it. And then when he did find it, it was actually a World War II 25-35, and he wouldn't sell it to me. And I'm like, you didn't even know it. You didn't even know it until I had you look up the serial number. I said that, so I should be able to buy the gun, and he still wouldn't sell it. But
no.
So I mean, they're out there, and there's shotguns out there too. We've had them before. They're just some of them are amazing. I mean, it's just No,
I love it.
Yeah, I have two vintage. Yep.
Okay, 2 vintage there. And where's that? Levi says, hopefully I can get my North Dakota buck tag filled Friday so I can make it. So I don't understand these people here.
You can fill it on Sunday.
It's a 16-day season, for crying out loud. This is only one evening that we're inviting people to come to, and it's free to come into it as well. So
right.
Good grief. Yeah.
Right.
Plus you get to hang out with the Jake Wagner.
and Scott Buckmeyer
Well, that doesn't.
and Jesse Flaith. I mean, it don't get any better than that.
Oh man, we
do have a new game this year, and I mean, it was specifically designed for Jesse, and that's why I wanted Jesse there so bad. So this game is designed around Jesse Flaith, and that's why I need him there, because he's going to have to help with it. So.
Well, I know it's not a like how high you can jump game, because I know that wouldn't be designed off of that. You have a special game just for him. Okay, I like it.
Yep.
Secret coming. I like it. Gene says, I'm guessing the Mauser is a BMO.
I believe so. I mean, it's been I've had that gun for quite a few years. I bought a whole slew of old military, and we've been slowly giving it away throughout the years.
Okay.
So, I mean, these are the last two I have left on hand that I haven't given away. But and I haven't even looked at it, actually, to be honest with you, for a couple years. But it's for an 8M Mauser. I mean, I guess it's a nice gun. I'm just not a big fan of them, but
yeah. He says the Enfield, the 17 Enfield, is a good one. So maybe we'll get he says he's a meat inspector, not a butcher. So all right. Did he pull the badge on you when he came into your place?
No, he didn't. He didn't. And then we asked the differences between. I was asking questions about how what things I have to do compared to what they have to do in South Dakota.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, things. Well, oh, and by the way, you got to have hams available at the wild game feed. By the way, so get that. That's my request. That's my request as the auctioneer, my friend. So there you go.
Oh, anyway, Ham's beer?
Yeah.
Boy, that's going to be a toughie.
No, it isn't. All right. Before
you always drink Pendleton, and I have plenty of that at the meat shop. More than enough for you.
I know, but I'm not going to do that in auction at the same time. That's a little bit too much. Very quickly, phone number if they want more information. Very quick.
406-978-2718.
All right. Eat some meat, drink some milk. Thanks for tuning in today, and wear fur and wool, by the way. Have yourself a good weekend. Enjoy. Stay warm. All right, stations, thank you so much. Now we're in the after hours here on YouTube only, Mr. Wagner.
Mm-hmm.
So Gene Cox says, where is that comment here? He's looking. He's saving his money to buy an STG 44 from Palmetto State Armory. It was a German assault rifle during WW2. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, I believe I know what it is. It's that I think if it's what I'm thinking of, it would be pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm surprised there's so many collectors of the war era rifles out there.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing.
It's big time.
So why were so many of them made Yugoslavian? Why is that?
Well, they were kind of dead center in the wars. I mean, there was a lot of things happened in that part of the world as far from a war standpoint. So,
just
anytime that happens, there's a lot of them made.
Just happened to be the place to get your armory.
So I had one that we gave away last year, and I found out the other day that it's back in the hands of one of my FFLs. And he goes, yeah, the guy brought it in and sold it to me, and he goes, it's been sporterized. And I'm like, which one are you talking about? And he goes, well, that 3040 Craig. And I said, no, it's not sporterized. I said, if he took that to any gun show or something like that, they're going to tell him that. I said, I did the research on that gun. I bought it at an auction in North Dakota, and we did the research on that gun, and it took us hours to figure out what this gun was. And it's not sporterized. I said, it looks like it is, but it's not. And what that gun actually was a cavalry carbine in a 3040 Craig. So, and there was very few of those made. And in fact, that's what Teddy Roosevelt had when they charged the Rough Riders, when they charged San Juan Hill. And there's very few of these that were made. And this one come out of North Dakota. And it had all the right stamping on it. And that's what that gun is. And that gun's worth probably $8,000 without blinking an eye.
That's crazy.
And I just told my FFL, I said, well, I'll buy it. Whatever you gave me for it, I'll buy it. And he goes, no. He goes, I think I'll hang on to it. I'm like,
JD says, is it Kalash basically ripped off the STG 44 design from the Germans after WW2.
Yeah, the Germans actually had some very, very well designed stuff in a lot of different ways. And, like their machine guns were just phenomenal. And the MG42 is still one of the best machine guns in the world to this day. And, we're printing here 100 years later.
Yeah. You had a Cav carbine? Gene,
yes.
Had, yeah. Gene asked that question. He's like, had?
Yes.
Any AK-47s at this event?
No.
Okay.
Nope. No, I got 2 ARs. I don't even remember what they are. They're just Diamondbacks. I got 2 Diamondbacks ARs. And that's basically it from that kind of from a semi-auto standpoint. They're long guns. They're long rifles.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm telling you this. Jamie's another one that's like, oh, it's opening deer season. This one guy, he said, it's opening day, man. It's like missing your own honeymoon.
Not if you can come home with a $2,000 or $3,000 gun that you can go deer hunting with the next day.
But here's the thing. It's not opening day. It's on Saturday the 11th. Opening
right.
day is
Yeah, you
10th.
guys open on Friday. You guys open on Friday. Yep. Friday at noon, isn't that what it is?
Noon Central. Yeah.
Yep.
The Mauser action is the granddad of all modern bolt action rifles.
It is. That's a true story. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Mausers are the toughest actions in the world.
Are they really?
Yep.
Yeah, yep. I'm telling you. I'm excited. You got me all jacked up now coming here. I'm going to see if I can.
Well, you're literally probably going to walk around and drool, and not just on the big tables, but all the other tables have that kind of stuff on them too.
Yeah.
We kind of, like I said, I kind of went overboard this year.
As you should.
Well, I normally I wouldn't have done what we're doing, but one of the guys on the board sat down and we had a conversation, and and we're kind of like, well, what the hell, let's throw some change out there and see what happens. And then I think from a gun standpoint, I think we're going to back off to where getting back down to that 70 range.
Okay.
Well, because once you get, and I mean, how long it takes to do this thing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
once, I don't think you've been there when I had 113 one year. And I mean, it gets to be too long.
It's a long night. There's no doubt about it. Yeah.
And this year is going to be longer. I mean, I already know, and it's a bigger headache, from our standpoint of putting the event on. It's a bigger headache because it's going to, take on longer. People get bored, and tired of looking at guns and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But
Jesse says, told Jamie's like, well, the big mule buck may come through on Saturday. I can't miss that. Jesse says, well, you can drool at the ladies. I'm telling you, this Fallon County's got, I don't know what you guys do over there, but like you select breed or something to make sure that everybody's good looking.
I don't know about that, but
Golly.
And that's probably why Jesse didn't want to come. He didn't want to bring his wife down there because then she'd find out all about all the things he does while he's here. So,
well, there's plenty to look at there too. Yeah. Gene says, I always worry about getting abducted by the Swedish bikini team on the open highway. It's a real fear.
Yeah. Me too.
Swedish bikini team. By now, I don't think the last commercial I remember seeing that on TV about the Swedish bikini team. I wonder what they look like now.
Yeah, I bet it ain't cool.
Be like looking at us. Oh my God. Well, no, that sounds good. What time? He's opening the doors at 4 again.
Yep, doors open at 4. Food starts at 4. The games are going to be opening as far as like the raffles and things of that nature. We'll be open at 4. That's the other thing too. I guess we haven't stated it, but other than 2 of our raffles, which are our pre-sale raffles, everything else, the stuff you see there that night, you have to be there.
Yeah, that's good.
So
Gotta
if
be
you buy
there
a
to
bunch
win,
of
yeah.
if you buy a bunch of chances on a table and think you're going to go home, it don't
Right.
work that way.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's what keeps people there.
Right. So, and we'll have a full service bar as always too,
With hams.
to keep you and Jesse and everybody else in good spirits. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will put the request in. I'm not going to guarantee that there's going to be hams there, but I will put that request in today.
I guarantee if they have it, it'll be the first stuff, either hams or Rainier. If they have it, it'll be the first thing sold out.
They'll probably only bring us 6.
It'll still be the first thing sold out, I guarantee it. No, it's good stuff here. Jesse says now he's nervous
Why?
because the game is specifically for him.
Oh, he'll be all right. He's a big boy. He'll be all right.
Make sure they have hams pounders. No, and pounders, come on now.
Yeah.
I don't drink that.
Actually, I don't mind hams. I don't care for the hangover, but I don't mind hams. But
Never got a hangover off of that. I don't think I ever drank that much of it.
you would like if you like hams, you'd like Great Falls.
Would I?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a Montana beer.
Never heard of it.
Was really popular way back in the day. Back when I was a kid, my dad drank it, and then they went belly up, and then a brewery bought the recipe from the family and started making it, and then now they distribute it, and so you can find it down. I think Reynolds might have it even. Last time I bought any, Reynolds had it, but yeah, it's real similar to hams.
What the hell? Jamie says soy boys drink 12-ounce cans. Damn guy.
I think I've drank 2 beers in the last year.
Whiskey's so much more fun.
Yeah.
Jesse and I were talking about we're doing a whiskey podcast where all we do is just like start talking about different things from different areas and sampling different ones and do a podcast about it.
Have you tried any of that new whiskey out of that distillery in Deadwood? Out of the new one?
I don't believe I have. No.
They're bourbon. It's called West River Bourbon.
Okay. Pretty good.
Well, I went down there and they have all different kinds of stuff in there, and I sampled that particular one because I bought a bottle for my brother. He's a bourbon drinker.
Mm-hmm.
And they had actually had bourbon that was made from oats.
Really?
Which I'd never seen before, and I never did sample that one. I probably should have, but it was like $150 a bottle, so I knew it was out of my league already.
You're talking about buying $10,000 guns, and that's out of your league at $150. Come on.
That's not my money I'm spending on the guns.
I see.
I'm pretty tight after when it comes to other things. I mean, $150 to get a buzz on, I can go spend 20 and get the same buzz on. So, especially from bourbon. Ugh.
I like bourbon.
Yeah, but you'll have to try it out. Where they got the one distillery right on Main Street by Miss Kitty's in Deadwood, and that one they have really good whiskey, and I get that cinnamon whiskey out of there. I make jerky out of, and it's right across the street from them.
Okay. I'll have to check that out. We're going to be heading down there here pretty quick.
Yeah,
one of these days, going back down
Yeah.
and visit.
I'll be after hunting season. I'll probably be heading that way myself.
Yeah. Well, let me know. We might meet you down there for an evening of fun entertainment.
Go to Legends and eat. That's kind of the highlight of my trip down there. But
haven't been able to get into that damn place.
That is so good. That is the best prime rib I think I've ever ate in my entire life, and I'm kind of a
you're kind of picky
steakhouse
about
connoisseur.
that.
Yeah. And their breakfasts are dynamite too. They've got literally the best biscuits and gravy I've ever ate. So it's a good place to eat. I like my food kind of like Jesse. That's how you get the figures like Jesse and I have. It's because good food.
Good food.
Yep.
You have the palate for it. Yeah.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. Levi says, I got a better chance of taking a big buck than finding a lady in Baker. We need to get this. We need to get this guy a lady friend.
Well, there's a couple around. I mean, you know,
He's probably picky like he is with his deer.
well, if he likes them big, then we can fill the bill.
Big girls are easy to come by, right? I mean,
Yeah.
God darn picky guys. Well, I suppose I got to go feed cows here and get a few things done before I head up to do the family thing for the my goddaughter.
Yeah, and I gotta go play with deer. So
He said he was at the corner bar this last week. No luck.
well,
I got to go
I
to
can-
the garage, go to the Baker Club, go to the Legion. You got other options. You can't just go to one
right,
place. I mean, come on, man.
right. The Legion, that's where all the swinging, you know what, hang out. Or not the Legion, but the corner.
Yeah.
That's where all the swinging, you know what, hang out. So
Yeah. Well, maybe you just got to go to Reynolds and just walk around Reynolds a little bit.
there you go. There you go. Yep.
Weiser
So-
Deluxe still tastes the same. Eric, if you have a hangover from Weiser's, you just got to get back on. You know, it can't be a quitter.
Oh.
Can't be a quitter. I have a bottle of Weiser's. We got some Weiser drinkers around this country too.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. I better let you run.
Okay.
You have yourself a good day.
All right. Take care,
All
Scott.
right, see you later.
See ya.
YouTubers, you guys have a great week and enjoy. And we'll see some of you guys here Sunday and Monday.